Have you ever wondered what happens to us after death? Do we go to the afterlife? Or do we go nowhere at all? Do we turn into crazy particles? Or do we get reborn, like in some never-ending cycle? Who knows? But today, we have 9 amazing accounts of after-death experiences. At number 1, we have Mary Neal. Mary Neal died in a kayak accident involving a waterfall. She claims to have left her body and float up to a heaven-like dome led by angels. Leaving her friends behind to resuscitate her, these angels told her it was not her time. But her son was in fact going to die soon, and as predicted, some years later, her son died, although claims not to have told her husband until after her son's death. I wonder why. Number 2. Annabelle Beam. Annabelle was a 9-year-old girl who fell from a tree, but not some tiny thing, no. She climbed 30 feet up. And when the branch she was on snapped, she fell all the way down into a hole at the base of the tree. After hitting her head a few times, this girl claims to have died and rose above her body. Then went to Jesus to sit on his lap, where he told her to go back, and that her body would be healed. Amazingly, she came out fine and unharmed. The doctor at the ER claimed she only had a tiny bump on her head, and that she was perfectly fine. Even her previous illnesses were gone. A miracle or coincidence? You decide. Number 3. Virginia Tighe. Unlike the others on this list, Virginia didn't die. Rather, her past life did. During hypnosis, a doctor tried regressing her memories back to when she was born. But instead, she became a 19th century Irish woman named Bridie Murphy, who described in great detail her life, her death, and even her tombstone. She claims to have fallen from a great height, then seeing her funeral, all with a deep Irish accent. But Virginia, being from the Midwest, did not have an Irish accent. So what happened? Is past life real? If so, is it just repressed, like a bad memory waiting to be dug up? Number 4. A Reddit user. Let it be known that I don't like not having a name to put to the person. But this Reddit user, who I will now refer to as they, claims to have died twice. Once in a motorcycle accident, and again in an overdose of painkillers. They state that it's simply like going to sleep, a dreamless sleep that is, and that when they awoke, the doctors said that they had died. Being an atheist, this Reddit user wasn't surprised about this experience. So, does your religion dictate what you see after death? If it even is death these people are experiencing, we may never know. Number 5. Crystal McVea. Yet another pearly white gates experience, except this one is purely by the books. After overdosing on painkillers from pancreatitis, she died for 9 minutes. And in this time, she claims to have gone to heaven via angel escort, then brought to God, where she could feel, hear, and see a godly figure of pure light. But this God told her to go back. And of course, she didn't want to. But after hearing her mother's voice, she returned, where like most, wrote a book about her experience. Number 6. Aneta Moreani. Aneta had terminal lymphatic cancer and went into a coma in the hospital. But after a few days in a coma, she woke up claiming to have met her dead father and friend, whom told her it wasn't her time, and that she needed to go back. Aneta said that she felt no more pain or fear when she rose above her body. After just days in her final stages, her cancer started to shrink, and soon after, it was gone entirely. Was this an act of some higher power? Did her father heal her? Or did her body, with the aid from treatment, heal itself somehow? We may never know. Number 7. The tale of is an account witnessed by Plato, a renowned philosopher and scientist. In this, was killed on the battlefield, and upon his funeral pyre, he woke. And to everyone's surprise, he had a story of the afterlife. Said that after death, him and many other souls around him were escorted to a judge of sorts, where he was told to stay and watch so he can be sent back and tell his tale to the people. Later, they were sent to a lake and given a reincarnation ticket, and the other souls had to drink from a lake to forget everything before moving on. This is the first known account of after death. Is it a true account, or a story written by a great philosopher? Number 8. Mellen-Thomas Benedict. Thomas died of a brain tumor and was pronounced dead for 90 minutes. Brain death occurs in only 5. He claims that while going to heaven, he decided to explore the universe, and that's what he did. Thomas claims to have seen other life on other planets, and even our own human history, as well as popular patents, and an inside look at gene editing, which he then entered into the field of study, appearing to know things he didn't before. Oh, and did I mention his tumor disappeared? It regressed itself to nothing. Scientists still have no idea how. Thomas claims we can control our life after death. Let's just hope that's true. And number 9. Colton Burpo. Colton was 4 years old when his appendix burst. He was rushed to the hospital, and during surgery, Colton claims to also flown above his body. I'm starting to see a pattern here. He too saw Jesus, and when talking to his parents afterwards, he mentioned seeing his father in a room alone, yelling at God, which his father claims did happen. But then he said something completely crazy when he described in detail his miscarried sister, whom he knew nothing of beforehand. Are these people really dying and coming back? Or are they just dreaming of these heaven-like places while they slip into a coma? We may never know. And those were 9 amazing accounts of after-death experiences. If you liked what you see, please subscribe and leave a comment below.